Shalom, shalom, shalom. We are the battle axes of the Most High God coming to you today. Start of the week breakdown. We're going to go into staying diligent, doing the work of the Most High. Staying diligent, doing the work of the Most High. So first I'm going to blow the trumpet, give warning to the people. Everything that we do is to give warning to our people, thus saith the Lord. We are the watchmen of Israel. He set us up to do this work. I don't know what our people are expecting to come out here to try to wake them up, but he sent the brothers and sisters of the poor and the meek to do that job. That's what, just like Christ, when he went out, he went to the poor and the meek. So this is just another warning class. Like I said, start of the week breakdown. And we're going to go into staying diligent while doing the work of the Most High God, because a lot of our people that come into the truth, after a few months of doing it or a year or so, they get complacent in the truth. They just get settled in what they're doing and think that that's the end all be all. We are trying to build a nation, so that work never stops. You think China stopped doing what they're doing as far as keeping their nation going? No, they've been going on for thousands of years because they've been keeping that thing going, because their people is constantly working to keep their race going, keep their position in the world, try to keep their economy going, their military going. So it's a nonstop, work. They stay diligent doing that. Even here in America, they call themselves the greatest country on earth because they stand diligent in trying to keep their position of what they have on this planet. But us as Israelites, we ain't had our position in a long time. So the Most High is waking us up to take back our rightful position. So to do that work, we have to stay diligent, man. You cannot get into this truth and just stop doing the work, or just because you know you're an Israelite. And even people coming into this thing, they find out they're Israelite and that's it. That is not the end all be all, man. That's just the beginning stages of it. And as you get more, grow more into this truth, you get more A's into this truth, it's more responsibility. Right. Because you move up. You go from being a young man in this truth, a babe in this truth, to learning precepts, learning the Bible, learning things that you're supposed to do, but you're supposed to be growing into a leader. And from growing into a leader, you grow into an elder. And as an elder, you are a leader and you are a father figure to the ones that's younger than you. So you can't never get complacent because people is looking up to you. Even from the youngest to the oldest, we're supposed to let our light shine to the rest of the Hebrew Israelites to show them that this is the way to go. But if you get in this truth and you start getting complacent, people are going to look at you and lose respect for you, because they're going to see why everybody else is running around working. You just sitting back like, yeah, I done did my part. I done put my brick in. That's not true. The Lord said this is long suffering. We're going to have to continuously work to the end. So, well, we got to get wiser while we're doing this, which means we have to obtain wisdom. If you're not obtaining wisdom, then I don't know what you're doing this for. So we got to start with getting wiser in this truth every day. So somebody read Proverbs 4 and 7 for me.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom.
Get what?
Get wisdom.
Uh-huh.
And with all thy getting, get understanding.
So he said, wisdom is the principal thing. It's the foremost, is the first thing that you got to be worried about, getting that wisdom, the primary thing that you have to worry about. And he say, therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. So you can't be wise if you don't have understanding of what you're wise about. So we got to get wiser in this Bible. And as we get wiser in this Bible, our understanding is supposed to grow. So let's get a understanding on how we get understanding. That Proverbs 2 and 6.
This is Proverbs chapter 2, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For the Lord giveth wisdom.
Who giveth wisdom out?
For the Lord giveth wisdom.
So the Most High God give us our wisdom. The wisdom of this world is foolishness to the Most High God. So if we want to get wise as Israelites, we got to get it from the Most High God. Read on.
Out of his mouth cometh knowledge
and understanding.
Cometh out of the Most High's mouth. Out of these scriptures that he left for us comes knowledge and understanding. And we know that that knowledge is the law, statutes, and commandments. Read on up.
He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous.
For who?
For the righteous.
Uh-huh.
He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly.
So from the mouth of the Most High comes knowledge and understanding. So we got to get it from him. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. That's the key part about it. For the righteous. The righteous, that's to him. Give me Deuteronomy 6:25 so we can give them the understanding of what righteousness is. He gives it to the righteous, to the ones that's doing what he told us to do. He ain't just gonna give it to no anybody. Like all these people say, yeah, I know God. God spoke to me, this and this and that. Are you one of the righteous? I don't even see you with no fringes on your shirt. So I don't believe you. Read that up.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 25.
Uh-huh.
And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God as he had commanded us.
So it will be our righteousness if we keep the Most High God's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how we be right with the Most High God. So if we be right with him, he would give us sound wisdom. He would give us knowledge and understanding. That knowledge, wisdom, and understanding comes from the Most High God when we're right with him. And that's what we're going into, man. We got to be right with the Most High God so that we can achieve these things, so that we can grow into be leaders and elders in his truth. We have to get our understanding from the Most High. We can't go about establishing our own righteousness. We can't go about establishing our own wisdom or our own knowledge. For us to build a nation, we got to go by the blueprint in which the Most High God has laid out for us. And if we, matter of fact, I read verse 8. Read verse 8.
Chapter 2.
Yes, sir.
Chapter 2, I'm sorry, Proverbs chapter 2, verse 8. He keepeth the path of judgment and preserveth the way of his saints.
If we do what he told us to do, he'll keep the paths of judgment and preserve the way of his saints. We are the saints of the Most High God. If we are the saints of the Most High God, then we have to walk his path. We got to follow Christ in the path that he laid forth for us. We can't go about, oh, I'm gonna veer over here and I'm gonna do it like this. Well, I'm gonna veer over here and I'm gonna do it like this. No, we can't do that. If we want to be right with the Most High God, we got to walk the path that he set for us. Read on up.
Right. Then shall thou understand righteousness.
We should do what up?
Then shall thou understand righteousness.
That's what the understanding that we got to get. We have to understand righteousness, freedom,
and judgment.
And judgment. That's something that our people like to run away from. See, us up here, we understand the judgment now. It's like a bad word to our people when they bring it up. You can't judge me. That's because you don't understand what righteous judgment is. We understand what righteous judgment. Righteous judgment is correction for our people to get right with the Most High God.
Right.
It's nothing personal for us. Read on up.
And equity.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, every good path.
And we trying to get that equity with the Most High God. Yeah, every good path. Every good path is only the path of going down righteousness. So give me Sirach chapter 1 and verse 5. I'll put it on that right there. That good path, out of the mouth of the Most High cometh knowledge and understanding. How do we get that? How do we get those words out of the mouth of the Most High? What is the mouth of the Most High? We in here understand that. It's the law, statutes, commandments. It's the testimony out the Bible. It's the scriptures. But let's get what the Bible has to say.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
The word of God Most High is the foundation of wisdom.
Is what I read that again?
The word of God Most High is the foundation of wisdom.
The word of the Most High God. The word of the Most High God. This Bible, these scriptures, the thing that a lot of our people like to run away from. The word of the Most High God is the foundation of wisdom. If you cannot get the true wisdom, if you don't go to God's words, like we were talking to the brother yesterday, brother all over the place. He was a little intelligent, but he didn't have proper wisdom of the Most High God, so he was doubting God because he didn't understand. If you actually do what the Bible says to do, you'll have a greater understanding of what's going on around here. You won't have to keep searching to and fro, trying to figure out who you are, what's going on, why we in this condition, because the word of God tells us. That's how we get wiser. Brother Ezra, give me Ecclesiastes 7:7. Read on up.
And her ways are everlasting commandments.
What's her ways up?
And her ways are everlasting commandments.
The wisdom, that's wisdom what we're talking about. The ways of wisdom is everlasting commandments. Everlasting commandments is righteousness to the Most High God. It all goes in a circle. It goes in a circle. You might well do the little infinity symbol.
And they don't come out that circle.
And they ain't gonna come out.
In that rotation. Yeah.
Stay in that rotation. Because it's gonna keep telling you the same thing. Read that, Brother Ezra.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Read that again.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Now, they see us. They be like, why they mad? Why they mad? Because we're wiser now. We didn't used to be wise. It's a surely oppression. We understand that we up under oppression. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. Due to the Bible, to God's words, we have become wiser and we understand this oppression that we're going through is the corruption of our people. We tired of this oppression. We tired of seeing our people get dealt any kind of way in this captivity that we in, because we grown wiser through the Bible. Give me Psalms 19:7. And we're going to go over here. Okay.
119.
No, 19. We have grown wiser. And the scripture's going to tell you how we grown wiser with Psalms 19:7. Because when we was in the world, we only cared about worldly things. We looked at Malcolm X, we looked at Martin Luther King, and we still was on the sideline. Yeah. He did it like this, he did it like this, but we still wasn't doing that. We in the fight now, because we are wise men up here. We in the fight spiritually for the Most High now and our people. Read that out.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
The law of the Lord is perfect.
Uh-huh.
Converting the soul.
Doing what?
Converting the soul.
The law of the Most High God is perfect, converting our soul. We converted our souls by coming back to the Most High God and doing what he told us to do. Keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. So we're not that old man that we used to be. Read on.
The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
Doing what up?
Making wise the simple.
See, the testimony and these laws made us go from being simple to being wise. And when we became wise, we started being angry about this oppression that we in. And we set out to try to wake our people up so they can come back to their Lord and Savior. So they can come back to the Most High God. That's the only person that can get us out the conditions that we in. And he left that blueprint for us to do. All we got to do is walk that path.
That's right.
That's all we got to do. Read that out in that path.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, 105.
Mm-hmm.
Thy word is a lamp unto my feet.
The Most High God's word, that path that we talking about, the Most High God's word is a lamp unto our feet. Read on.
And a light unto my path.
And a light unto the path. How we gonna see down the path? We ain't got no light. He left that light for us, which is this right here. This is where we get our faith and our hope from right here. But if you don't believe, if you don't do, there's none affecting you. Then you might well you're gonna be in the Christian church doing Easter. You're gonna be doing Christmas, knowing good and darn well that stuff don't make no sense, but you still gonna be sitting in a congregation doing it because you don't have that light to light your path. And you've been having it in your house the whole time. We've been having a light in our house the whole time and didn't even know. But we know now, and that's why we are here to do the will of the Father, to wake our people up, to try to let them know what the light is too. Quit running away from the light. Run to the light. That's right. Can't run from it. Give me Matthew chapter 5. Give me Matthew chapter 5, verse 14 through 16. You give me 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Brother Ezra's Hebrews 6 and 10. Let's go. Matthew.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14. Ye are the light of the world.
What did the Most High God say?
Ye are the light of the world.
Now check this out. So the Most High God's laws, such commandments is our light, right? To walk down that path. And as we do that, we get illuminated so that we can be the light of the world. So when other Israelites see us, they can see that light shine. And we know they can see that light shine because they know we ain't like all the other Negroes like we used to be. Something different about them brothers. We got the light of the Most High in us. Read on up.
A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do a man light a candle and put it on a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house.
So when you in this walk, when you in this truth, you don't sit up and let your light be up under the bushel. You put that thing up so everybody can see it. Right. Like the brother say, well, you know, I gotta tuck my fringes in when I go to this interview. No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna wear my fringes because this is why I'm gonna wear my fringes. Because it's gonna come up about the Sabbath, about the Passover, and all the other things that we have to do. It's going to come up if you're diligent about this work. We might well lay it all on the line in the beginning. Because hiding ain't gonna do you no good. When I go to the store, you're gonna see my friends. If I see a brother or sister and the spirit move me, we're gonna talk about the Bible. Because that's what we're supposed to do. How else is we gonna get this gospel out if we just, well, I know I'm an Israelite, I'm just gonna stay at the house. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. I ain't gonna say nothing to nobody. I don't wanna make nobody mad. That's I don't wanna make you mad, brothers. I ain't gonna say nothing. Man, look at her. For the Most High God, I'm gonna do anything he tell me to do. That's right. So ain't no hiding that light, man. We got it because, matter of fact, keep reading. Not why we gotta let that light shine.
Let your light so shine before man that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
So that they can see our good works, but the main part is so that they can glorify the Father. We ain't doing this for glory of us. Give me Second Peter 2:9. Huh? We're not doing this for us. We're doing this for the glory of the Most High God, so that people can see. Give me 1 Peter 2:9, so people can see the glory of the Most High God. How He changed these lowly Negroes that didn't know, that thought they was African Americans at some point. Some of us even voted for Obama. Sold dope, went to prison, whored our sisters out, and they up here standing up for the Most High God. That's showing the glory of the Most High God. This ain't us, because everything coming out of our mouth is thus saith the Lord. Read that for me, huh?
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood.
We're supposed to be a royal priesthood. Read on.
And holy nation.
We're supposed to be a holy nation, a separate nation from the other nations. Read on.
A peculiar people.
A peculiar people. We supposed to look strange to the other nations. That's a different type of people right there. Read on.
That ye should shew forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
See, that's the key point right there. I want it right there. So that ye, us, should show forth the praises of him who has brought us out of darkness into his marvelous light. That's why I do it. I don't do it for me. I'm doing it so people can understand that the Most High God is real. He the one changed us. He left the blueprint. We followed the blueprint, and we changed like he said we would. The Most High God is not a man that he should lie. And he did. All of us can testify to that. So when they see us out there in them royal garments, we all looking like royalty, it's for the Most High God. That's right. It's to give so people can see that and glorify the Most High God. It ain't about us. So we finna get into the crux of the class now. So who got the 1 Corinthians 15 and 58?
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast.
Do what?
Be ye steadfast.
We have to be steadfast in doing this work of the Most High God. Read on.
Unmovable.
Unmovable. We can't let nobody, not wives, not children, not parents, change our course of what we're doing. Read on.
Always abounding in the work of the Lord.
We have to always abound in the work of the Lord. This ain't just no Sabbath thing. This ain't just no Sunday thing. This just ain't no Wednesday thing. This is a everyday thing that we have to do for the Most High God. 24/7 for the Most High God. Right. We're supposed to be living, breathing the Most High God, Yahweh. He didn't make us to be down here doing our own thing. He made us to be servants of Him. And when you get your mind back right and in line with Christ and in line with the Most High God, you understand that, and that's your real purpose. How can it get any greater than working for the Creator? And you know you working for the Creator, and you know everybody else is around here getting food. They getting food with that what they fool's gold. What they selling? Fool's gold. Christianity is fool's gold. Islam is fool's gold.
Turn your neck green.
Yeah, it's gonna turn your neck green.
Right now.
Fool's gold, man. This the real deal right here. Can't nobody come against the truth. You can't come against the truth. You can only help the truth. Try to help the truth, because you can't come against it. Read on up.
For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
So we know that our labor ain't in vain in the Lord. He blessing us every day. He blessing us. And we count them blessings too. So our labor that we do for this truth is not in vain. Because it's clearing up. We got to clear up those sins that we did when we was in the world. We got to try to make up for the grace that He gave us, that He didn't put us to death. So this ain't in vain. And how if the angels rejoicing about one brother or sister they wake up to this truth, that's because we down here putting in the work.
That's right.
That's why it's not in vain. Just like if we go have count and we only reach one person, it ain't in vain. That's right. We doing what He told us to do. Let's get Hebrews chapter 6 and verse 10.
Let me start at 9.
All right, start at 9.
This is Hebrews chapter 6, verse 9. But beloved, we are persuaded better things of you and things that accompany salvation, though we thus speak.
Though we thus speak about better things and accompanying salvation. We persuaded of better things of you. We are persuaded of better things of everybody that come into this truth. Because the Lord ain't bringing you into this truth for nothing. So we looking for better things from all of us and things that accompany salvation. We trying to get salvation. You can't ride nobody else's coattails into salvation. You watching a brother put in work and you ain't helping. You can't ride his coattail. Yeah, the job got done, but you didn't do nothing. You can't ride these brothers that's putting in work coattails into salvation. Read on up.
God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love.
The Most High would not, He is not unrighteous that He'll forget that work that you put in. Brothers are spending money they ain't even got so they can keep the operation going. Brothers is putting time in away from their families to keep the operation going. And the Most High God is not unrighteous that He'll forget your work and labor of love in this truth. Read on up.
Let me read that again. For God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love.
Hold on. Since you read it again, and He sure ain't gonna forget if you ain't do nothing to help neither. That's right. He ain't gonna forget when you put that work in, but you think He gonna forget when you stood around and watched all the brothers do all the work and didn't do nothing. Sisters, you don't want to put no brick in, but you want to sit around eating and drinking and having a good time. You want to enjoy all the good times, but what about the times that we got to get our clothes dirty, put on them knee straps, get down there and get your hands dirty? You got to be here, man. You got to put in that work, man. Read on up.
Which ye have showed toward His name, in that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister.
Uh-huh.
And we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence.
That we do what?
Show the same diligence.
We have to show the same diligence in doing this work. As hard as one teacher teach, we all got to teach. As hard as one brother clean the toilet, we all got to clean the toilet. As hard as one sister cook some food, make some food, we all got to do that thing, man. We can't just sit back where Sister Betty, she make the best, so I'm just gonna let her have it. No, what you do? All of us do something. Where your talents at? What the skills that the Most High gave you? Bring them forth. Don't be a nigger with your skills or talents. Bring them things forth. And we got brothers doing that, man.
Come.
Showing the best out of Israel.
That's right.
When we all come together, man, we showing I have seen incredible things, man, in this camp and also in other camps.
That's right.
Brothers and sisters is doing incredible things. They making incredible music. They making incredible clothes, food, medicines, magazines.
That's right.
Putting in work. And then you got some people just being niggards, being sluggards, slothful.
Nigga likes.
Nigga likes. Nigga likes.
Nigga likes.
Being slothful, man. You can't be slothful in this truth. There's people running circles around you. And when you be slothful in this truth, that bring forth people not respecting you.
Come on.
It's all about respect. But when people are seeing, hey, this brother driving all the way from such and such to be here, flying in to be here and putting in work. And other people just like, well, I guess they got it. Now pitch your brick. It ain't no just we got it. We got brothers in here. It's just up here. Ain't got to be up here. Pitching a brick. Brothers who diligent every single day. Even though they got their own problems and their own stuff to deal with, they still pitching a brick to do the work of the Most High God. We got some more. Read on that.
We read 11 again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end.
Till when
the end.
Till when
The end.
This thing don't stop, man. It's till we hit the grave, man, or the Yahweh Shah come and them chariots fly. This does not stop. It don't stop. So every day that we get up, that look just like when you find out you was an Israelite and you was happy. For weeks, you keep that same energy. You keep that same energy in dealing with your brothers and sisters. You keep that same energy in teaching his word of the Most High God. You keep that same energy. Don't take that energy and try to place it somewhere else. No. Now you find out who ye is. Now you good. No. Some of us ain't good yet. We still in captivity.
That's right.
Read on that.
That ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises.
Be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith. Who is the follower? Who was those who was through faith? Abraham,
Our forefather.
Isaac, Jacob, Noah, Christ. We're gonna be followers. Let's be followers of the ones that's diligent about this work. What we reading the Bible for?
That's right.
What we doing? If the examples is in here for us to follow, of things of who to follow and who not to follow. But if you get up every day and you still doing the same stuff and not making no effort on changing the way you was, then what are you doing?
Cool.
Because it's gonna show. It's gonna show. Especially when everybody else busting their butt. Especially when everybody else busting their butt. You kicked up with your feet up on the couch like Rick James. Bring it out,
huh? Let's go to Hebrews 10 and 36. See if we can back up what the captain is saying here.
Bring it out.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 36. For ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of God, ye might receive the promise.
But what we need to have out?
Patience.
Oh, I need the kingdom right now.
Patience.
Patience, man.
Patience.
It don't move when we want it to move. The Most High is move at His own pace. You want the next one?
For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry.
So in a little while, we know that Yahushua coming back, and He ain't gonna tarry when He do. But we sit up here want to move at our own pace. You better make haste. You better make haste, because you never know. The whole thing is, while we worrying about when Yahushua comes back, you need to worry about if you leave this place before Yahushua come back, because that's the truth.
Always.
Now 38 and 39 is really took.
Read it out.
This is verse 38. Now the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him.
So you come in this thing going 100 miles an hour in this truth. Then you hit 6 months to a year later and you draw back. No, what you doing? You need to keep going 100 miles an hour. Because what he say again? If any man draw back,
If any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul.
So, because if you pull back, you can fall back into that perdition. Because it's just like us here. We come to Sabbath class every Sabbath, right?
That's right.
We come to Sabbath every Sabbath. But you start missing Sabbaths, you mess around, fall back into that old man. You have to consistently do this stuff, because the draws of the world, the draws of the people that's around you, mess around, pull you, man. Pull you back into sin, man. Pull you back into the world. Your wife will mess around, pull you back in the world. But honey, you don't never spend no time with me on Sabbath. Woman, I told you, I'm keeping the Sabbath. But some brothers be like, but man, I ain't spending no time with my wife, man. So all these other days after the week, you can't spend no time with your wife. After the Sabbath, you can't spend no time with your wife. But this is what people do.
It's easy to miss that first Sabbath.
It's easy.
Well, actually, it's hard to miss that first Sabbath.
The next one.
Easy to miss the second,
Yeah, that's
and the third, and the fourth. It gets easier and easier.
Yep.
Then Wednesday, you miss that.
Because you done lost patience. Because things ain't going how you think it should go. Because a lot of people, and let's be honest, a lot of people come into this truth and they think stuff's supposed to be perfect.
Yeah.
We working out the kinks. We working out the kinks. How are we gonna be perfect? We all still babes.
We still in captivity.
We still in captivity. So we can't even implement everything like we really, really need to or really, really want to. And then we got people who don't put off that old person. For the most part, we have peace. But when somebody that ain't put off that old person, let that old person out, there go the problems right there. Because they done lost patience with one another. They done lost patience with brothers and sisters. I'm not gonna be getting into it and having grudges with my brothers that I'm doing the Lord's work with. It's counterproductive, and it really don't even make no sense. We may have a little but afterwards you need to move on. That's what men do. We lions. But the lions that go to fight for real, they finna draw blood. But when the lions is getting the scuffle, they ain't even touched each other. It looked like it. You know, y'all don't watch the Animal Planet. It looked like when they like brothers or whatever, they going at it. It looked like they rough, but when you see the real fight, when some other lions come in and you see blood getting drawn and skin getting ripped out, that's the reason. We ain't doing that to each other.
We disagree. We're not disagreeable.
Exactly. So we got to have patience with one another in doing this work. A lot of people lose patience.
That's right.
Well, it ain't the way I thought of it. Ain't we still children?
A lot of people lose patience because they haven't got rid of that old man yet.
Mm-hmm.
They still wrapped up in that Christianity. And of course, when you come to something different, then you're going to have a disagreement. You have to get rid of that old man and take on that new man.
That's right.
Once you take on that new man, then that new you will learn how to fall in line and do what's supposed to be done for the Most High.
That's right.
It ain't about us no more. Once you come to this truth, it's about the Most High.
That's the whole thing to it. That's why you're able to not get into it with your brothers or go get over it easier, because it's not about us, it's about the Most High.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
This is business.
Yeah, there's no yield sign, no stop sign. There ain't even no brakes on this ride.
No, ain't no brakes on this ride.
Ain't no brakes. No, it's straight gas.
It's straight. It's either getting into the kingdom or the lake of fire on this trip right here. Where your destination at?
Right into one of those.
I'm trying to get to the gates or to the kingdom. I ain't trying to get dropped off at the lake of fire.
That's right.
So is it really worth getting into it with each other? Or is it better to be brothers and love one another, like the scriptures command us to do? That's not hard.
Now I gotta tell you, man, ain't nothing better than being surrounded by a group of brothers, man, in a camp such as this one, and maybe some of the other ones. But I love this one so much, I really haven't been to another. You know, I mean, jumping. When you find a home, you make your bed there.
That's right.
You know, you make your bed there.
Right.
And you overcome whatever issues we got together.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the same if we had our own country. It's gonna be people on this side, it's gonna be people on this side. But where we gonna go? We gotta work this thing out. And here go the way to work it out. Now somebody don't want to listen to this, then they is a publican. They don't want to do what the Lord told them to do. So when we want to do what the Lord told us to do, it's gonna be easy to fall in line, because all we gotta do is go to the law. That's how he set it up. We ain't got to use our own vain opinions.
That's right.
What we think, what we feel, what we believe. I think this, I think this. Let's go to the law. Where the law says, all right. It is what it is.
The wicked on the earth, they close ranks and come together. How come we can't do
Exactly. When we commanded to
it?
do
We
it.
commanded to do it.
They ain't even commanded to do it. They just do it because it's naturally in them.
It's naturally in them.
But they broke our spirit from doing it. Now the Lord commanded us to come back to do it. It's a commandment, man. So we gonna do that thing. What did he say? Gather together. Oh, nation not desired. Before the decree of the Lord come forth. So yeah, man, this ain't hard for me, because in the world I ain't had nobody.
That's right.
So in the truth, I got a lot of brothers. A lot of brothers. So this is a no-brainer for me. Let's get Ecclesiastes 9 and 10.
This is the book.
Give me Acts 20 and 32.
Of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might.
No, do it a little bit.
Do it with thy might.
Just give them 10%.
Do it with thy might.
The Lord said, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do it with thy might. If you go work for that white man and you put 150% in, then you better come put 200 in for the Most High.
Good.
He said, whatever you do it with your might. Don't come in here half buttoned. Don't come in here. All the words I know it's filthy words. Don't come in here playing, man. Come in here to work for the Most High, man. If that ain't what you want to do, stay at home. Because we come up here to work for the Most High. When you wrap your life around the Most High, all this stuff is easy. I ain't got to reschedule that knots. Everybody already know what my schedule is. We got to be at the school. I ain't got to postpone nothing. Because I'm just, and you sure better not ask me to do nothing on the Sabbath. Because you're going to get a dirty look. Because I already let everybody know. You already know ain't nothing popping on no Sabbath. So he said, whatever thy hand findeth to do it with thy might. Read on up.
For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave, whither thou goest.
Because ain't none of that there. When it's over, it's over.
It's over.
So while you here, you might as well put in 150% for the Most High.
Come.
Because once it's over, you can't show them no more.
That's right.
This is your audition right here. This is us auditioning for the Most High to let them know that we'll be good servants. And it only makes sense. We should be glad that he even gave us a chance to audition. Because if you finna let some wicked creature into your kingdom, when you want peace in your kingdom, no. You finna let a wicked Negro in there to mess up the harmony of the kingdom. That don't even make no sense. Everybody in here know to worship the Most High God, and then, but we gonna let Joe Blow up in here, whose spirit messed up. Why? So he can mess up everybody else's spirit?
So the kingdom must be no better than this kingdom.
Exactly. The Most High ain't going for that thing, so he tests the spirits right here. He testing the spirits right here of who he gonna let into that kingdom for eternity. For eternity? You finna let a damn fool in the kingdom for eternity? That don't even make no sense, man. God loves everybody, so he loves idiots. If he loved everybody, then he'll love the simple, right? And why is he telling the simple to come hold, grab hold to the law to make you wise?
Right. Why is he telling us to be reborn again?
Why is he telling us to be reborn again if he loved the way that you were? That's an excellent point. If he loved the way that we was, why would he tell us to be reborn again?
Why did he tell us to choose not to wear the heathen?
If he just loved everybody, then he'll love the heathen too.
Right.
Why is he even calling them the heathen? If he loved everybody, then it wouldn't be no difference between us. They even call them heathens or Gentiles. Why did he call the northern kingdom Gentiles when we separated? And we the same people?
Right.
Because they stopped doing the will of the Father. Because there's a difference between the holy and the unholy, the clean and the unclean. Because he don't want no unholy thing or no unclean thing around him. He said the Lord doeth put a difference between the Egyptians and the Israelites. He put a difference between the Israelites and the rest of the other nations. So it don't make no sense that God love everybody when he's setting the parameters of what he wants. He the one told us to be holy. He said he told us to be a holy nation, a royal priesthood. So if he set the parameters, man gonna come say, no, he just love everybody. No, man, we ain't going for that no more. So he said, whatever we do, do it with our might. So if we gonna come in here and serve the Most High God, we need to serve him with all our might.
That's right.
We can't half-butted up in here, man. That ain't how you build a nation. Let's get the book of Acts, chapter 20 and verse 30. 32, Salaki. I mean Titus 2 and 11. I got it. All right.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 20, verse 32. And now, brethren.
Who?
And now, brethren.
No, now everybody.
And now, brethren.
Oh, brethren. Oh, that's brothers, kinsmen, according to the flesh. Okay. Read on.
I commend you to God and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up, and to give you an inheritance among all them which are sanctified.
Which are sanctified. Hold this. Give me Galatians 5 and 24. Is that what? 26. 5 and 26. He said, now, brethren, I commend you to God and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up. See, I wanted to start there first. Because we up under grace, right? He said that which it is able to build you up. During this grace, we're supposed to be getting built up. Read that grace for me. Who got grace? Titus 2 and 11?
I thought it was Titus. I got Titus 2 and 11.
All right, read that for me.
This is the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 11. For the grace of God that bringeth salvation hath appeared to all men.
That all men is all Israelite men. And we know this because salvation is of the Jews, right? Read on.
Teaching us that denying ungodliness.
Teaching us. We supposed to be learning, getting built up. Teaching us that denying ungodliness,
and worldly lust.
We're supposed to deny ungodliness. We're supposed to deny this worldly lust is out here.
We should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world.
So while we up under this grace, we're supposed to be learning how to live soberly, which we didn't do in the world, righteously, which we didn't do in the world, and godly in this present world that we living in. That's what we're supposed to be doing under grace. That's why he able to tell you that grace which is able to build you up. Because when under grace, instead of blowing the grace that we have been given, like a lot of our people are doing, we're supposed to be getting built up in this grace like we doing right now. So let's go back to Acts chapter 20, verse 32.
Read it again.
Yes, sir.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 20, verse 32. And now, brethren, I commend you to God and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up and to give you an inheritance among all them which are sanctified.
We're trying to get that inheritance among all them which are sanctified. You got that sanctified one? Is that Galatians? Ephesians. I think it's Ephesians. Ephesians 5 and 26. Yes, sir. Ephesians 5 and 26.
Okay. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 26.
Let's get how you be sanctified.
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
We get sanctified and cleansed through the washing of the water by the word of the Most High God. Just like we read in Sirach 1 and 5 about the word. The word of God is the foundation of wisdom. We have to get washed by the foundation of wisdom. These laws, statutes, commandments. That's how we get sanctified. And we trying to get that inheritance among all them which have been sanctified. That's what the whole thing we trying to do. And through these scriptures, we will get that. That's how we got the understanding right now. When I was going to church, I ain't know, it was like, I'm saved, sanctified, bathed in the blood of the Lamb. Well, I couldn't even picture that in my head.
Yeah.
What? I'm thinking lamb's blood all over. What's going on? You bathed in it? He did the Erykah Badu because she did something like that in one of her videos in a tub of blood. Like, that's disgusting. Oh, but now we understand that it's being washed in his word, keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. Let's go back to Acts 20 and 33.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 20, verse 33.
Mm-hmm.
I have coveted no man's silver or gold or apparel. 34. Yea, ye yourselves know that these hands have ministered unto my necessities and to them that were with me.
So he telling them, y'all know when I ministered, these hands have ministered unto the necessity. I worked for mine, is pretty much what he said. Y'all know. Just like Ezra be like, brother, y'all know I worked for mine. Yeah, we know that. Ken say, yeah, brother, y'all know I worked for mine. Yeah, we know you worked for yours. This is what he's saying. Y'all witnessed this. Y'all know I worked for mine. I ain't never begged for nothing.
That's right.
I put my brick in. Read on.
35. I have showed you all things, how that so laboring ye ought to support the weak.
We should do what?
That so laboring ye ought to support the weak.
We supposed to support the weak. That's why we building what we building, to support the weak. That's why we putting our brick in, so that we can support the weak. We have to be the beams. Yahweh Shai is the foundation. We have to be the beams to support the weak, the needy, the widows, the fatherless.
Right.
We have to be that. That's what he commanded us to do. If we don't do it, then who gonna do it? Ain't nobody sitting around waiting to do nothing for us. Ain't no white man finna sit up here and lead us to our God. Call us to unity. That's what Negroes looking for. They looking for a white man to do that. That's never gonna happen. We have to do it by the power of and the grace of the Most High God set forth in front of us to do that. But you gotta put your brick in. A lot of our people sit around, in Malcolm X time and Martin Luther King time, there's a lot of people sitting around not even doing nothing. I at least commend them for trying. They at least put their life on the line for their people. And there was a lot of people sitting on the line saying what they would do, what they might do, what they should do. And them brothers and sisters was out there actually trying to do something. That's why I commend everybody in here. And every Israelite that hit them streets and put in that work, because they trying to do something. The only thing now, we doing it the way the Most High told us to do. So don't be one of the ones on the sidelines complaining or wishing or hoping. Well, you know, Malcolm out there causing all this ruckus. Oh, Martin out there, he talking about nonviolence. He ain't talking about nothing. What's his name? Chavez?
Yeah.
He just running his mouth. He ain't trying to be, but you sitting at the house. There's a lot of Facebook Israelites that do that. Want to talk stuff about the ones that's actually out here doing the work. There's a lot of people in different congregations that just sit back in the corner and don't put in no brick. They just show up so they can eat. We got to stop that stuff, man, because those ain't the weak. Right. Those is the ones that's getting over. We know the weak. He told us, the fatherless, the widows, the elderly. That's the weak. You are able-bodied adult and children. If you're an able-bodied adult, man or woman, then it's a job for you to do in the Lord's army. You'll go do it for the white man army. That's what I liken it to. When I was in the white man military, I ain't want to do nothing for them. I just went because I ain't want to go to jail in the streets. But for the Most High, Lord, if you want me to be a cook, if you want me to be a janitor, if you want me to just hold the flyers, whatever the Lord want me to do in this walk, I'm going to do it. Because I know how important this thing is. Every person that's involved in this is important.
That's right.
Every single person is important.
That's just like in the doctor's office. The doctor, everybody look at the doctor as being important. But if that janitor don't go in there and clean that office room
That's right.
the way it's supposed to be clean, he can't perform his surgery.
That's right.
So he's just as important as the doctor.
Yep.
But society don't look at it like that.
Same thing with the dishwasher.
Yep. You think, I used to be a dishwasher.
Nobody want to eat out of the dishes.
If the dishwasher don't wash the dishes,
Right.
you ain't got no dishes to serve no food on.
That's right.
So dishwasher bad. My first job was a dishwasher. Well, it's a non-stop job.
Water.
Them dishes keep coming.
Yeah.
You want to quit like a mug. But boy, if you stop, the whole operation stop.
Right.
Ain't no glasses, put no drinks in. Ain't no plates to put. Ain't no silverware to eat with. Ain't no pots for the cooks to cook with. If there ain't no pots for the cook to cook with, ain't no food to be cooked. So you got a great point there. Huh? Even in the military, same thing. If the soldiers can't eat because the cooks can't cook, then they can't do no work. So everybody that's involved in this is important. And we like to stress that around here in the battle axe. All hands on deck, man. All hands. We got one king, that's Yahweh. And his father is the creator, the God of everything. Outside of that, we are brothers and sisters, man.
That's right.
The Lord said order, but we are brothers and sisters. Ain't even getting no puffed up around here, man.
No big eyes and little U's.
No, we can't have that, man. That's where corruption come in at. And I ain't living with no corruption. I'm not living with no corruption. I can't do it. My spirit won't let me, man. We'll finish that out, huh?
And to remember the words of the Lord Yahweh, how he said, it is more blessed to give than to receive.
It is more blessed to give than receive. It is more blessed. So when we doing this work, because you got to remember, Christ said, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. When I was naked, you clothed me. You got to remember, when we doing this type of stuff for each other, we doing it for Christ too. So it is better to give than receive. So up in here, that's what we practice, man. We practice looking out for each other. We live, breathe that thing, man. If somebody needs something, we're going to be there for you. Because we have to put that brick in. Because if you want somebody to be there for you, you got to be there for somebody. And then people look and see, man, this brother legit about what he do. And I ride to the death with this brother, man. That's what we looking for. That's how we gotta be. We a nation. Think about it. We had our own kingdom, man, and we had to go fight the Philistine. We can't be sitting over here with grudges against each other. We got all the other nations of the world want to kill us, and it's still here today.
More so today.
More so today. How we sitting over here fighting with each other, or not putting 150% in with each other? We got all these other nations out here that hate us, and we got time to be sitting wasting time with each other. No, we can't do that with each other. So we gotta be. All of us gotta be King Davids around here, man.
Right.
All of us gotta be King Davids. Everybody that come in this door gotta be a King David. And I mean in work ethic, in love of the Most High. We gotta strive to be the apple of his eye.
Can I ask something?
Yes, sir.
Go back in 35. It on the end said it is more blessed to give than to receive.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain them who they're right there talking about by blessed? Because some people thinking bless those that not keeping the commandments. Like say your mom coming one of your relatives come in there and you bless them. But the Bible said that don't bless those that not keep commandments, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Read that right there. You read 12 and 4. Sirach 12 and 4.
Sirach.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
Give to the godly man and help not a sinner.
What did the Bible say?
Give to the godly man and help not a sinner.
So if you helping a sinner, how you gonna get blessed by doing? Keep reading. Keep reading. We're gonna read that.
Verse 5. Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly.
So if somebody lowly, we can help them because we know this brother in here. That's like we were talking about. When you see a brother in here putting in work, we have no problem helping. But he said just because somebody on the streets and they lowly, that don't mean that they godly. He said don't give to the ungodly. And let's see why. Read on.
Hold back thy bread and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby, for else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him.
See, that's the thing right there. If you run around giving to a sinner, and he gonna go do sin with the money that you give him, you gonna receive what up?
Twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him.
You gonna receive twice as much evil as that good that you done unto him. Hey, once I read that, it was a wrap. The Lord said, give to the godly man. So I got to give to the godly man. I can't give to everybody. Then plus, you give to somebody that's doing the Lord's work, he gonna bless you because you helping one of his saints. Just like when Christ said, when I was thirsty, when I was hungry, you fed me, you gave me something to drink. That's what he's talking about. If we in Christ, then we keeping his commandments. So if you in Christ, you Christ. And I do for you, then I'm doing for Christ. And that's how we get blessed.
I want to go back to something, if it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to Titus 2 and 11, because we have some people out here that's of Christianity that may not know. So I want to clarify something right here for those who care to know. Captain said it, but I want to show you on paper what Captain is talking about. So Titus 2 and 11, I read it right quick. Titus chapter 2 verse 11. For the grace of God that bringeth salvation has appeared to all men. He's talking about the salvation has appeared to all men. What he say all men? Christianity believe that this is talking about everyone in the world. But as Captain said, this is only for the Jews, which are the Hebrew Israelites. Now I want to go to John 4 and 22. John 4 and 22 says, ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is for the Jews.
It's for what?
For salvation is for the Jews.
No, it's for all the whole world.
For salvation is of the Jews.
And that's in the New Testament, people.
So for those who thought the captain may have just put something there that wasn't there, John 4:22, Jesus' own writing in red. If you read the Bible, red lettering, that's Jesus speaking. So he's saying salvation is only for the Jews. Okay,
that's right. Good precept. Good precept. This is Galatians chapter 5 and verse 22.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 22.
Oh, hold on. I forgot to do something when we first started.
Okay.
Because the name of the class is Staying Diligent, Doing the Work of the Lord. And I meant to give the definition of diligent before we start. Because once you know the definition of diligent, the class really makes sense. Definition of diligent: having or showing care, conscientiousness in one's work or duty. Having or showing care in one's work or duty. So if you're going to do the Lord's work, and we read in the scriptures where it's saying diligent, then you have to do it with care. You're in diligence, care, having or showing care for one's work and duties. You have to care about what you're doing. That's why we do this, because we care about what we're doing. That's being diligent. When you care, you're going to do it like you're supposed to do it. When you don't care, it's just like working at a job. When you don't care, man, you don't care about getting rolled up. You don't care about what they talking about, what your supervisor talking about. Man, I quit this job anytime.
Looking at the clock.
Looking at the clock.
You ain't gonna do the job right.
And you ain't gonna do it right. But when you care, you're gonna be diligent about this thing, man. We trying to get Lord's will promotions. We want the Lord to promote us spiritually. We want him to bless us.
That bonus.
Get that bonus. Get into the kingdom.
Trying to get to the kingdom. Ain't nothing on earth that we got to have.
No.
We trying to get to the kingdom.
I'm waiting for that promotion.
So yeah, man. Let's get that Galatians. Let's start that Galatians.
Okay, the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love.
Is what?
But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith. 23, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law.
If you're doing all of these things, if you're having these characteristics with your brothers and sisters, there is no law against it, because you're not breaking no law. How can you break the law if your spirit is love, if you a joyful person, if you got peace with your brothers and sisters, if you got patience and long suffering doing this work, gentleness when you're dealing with your people, goodness, if you got faith in the Most High God, meekness, temperance, how can you be breaking the law? Your spirit can't even begin to break the law if this is how you are. Just like when a brother is so humble, you're like, man, I can't even see this brother getting mad. This brother too humble. Brother Steve so humble. If somebody rile him up, you know they done really messed up, man.
That's right.
Because the brother exhibiting these characteristics. And it's like, come on, man. Ain't no law against that, because you're not breaking no law against your brothers and sisters. This is the characteristics that if we say we in the truth, that we supposed to be taking on. And I'll just speak for myself. Some of these characteristics I did not have when I was in the world. But I promise you, every day I'm working on something. Like if one of my brothers say something, and I'll take that thing and I'm gonna analyze it, I'm gonna be like, he ain't saying for no reason. So I need to work on that thing. You know what I'm saying? My temper was one of them. And I got witnesses that'll tell you, this guy right here been working on his temper, because I'm controlling my spirit, because I need my spirit to be like this. It ain't about being no punk or letting nobody punk you. It's about understanding that there's other ways to deal with the situation. You know what I'm saying? That's where it comes from, having elders, people that live life, people that keep these commandments, because they gonna tell you the truth. For instance, brother said, Captain Nehemiah, man, if you mad, you might not want to call that brother, because he gonna ride you up he gonna get riled up with you. I took that thing, I said, you know what? I don't want to be labeled as that. I want to be labeled as a brother that when you call me, I'm gonna be like, I stay in the spirit. That's how I want to be labeled. I don't want to be labeled the other way, because I need to stand, and we all got to stay in the spirit.
Cool.
So when you brothers say, you seemed a little stubborn. Well, I am a little stubborn, but you know what? I'm working on that thing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us didn't like nobody saying nothing to us in the world. But as we grow in this truth, we can take the constructive criticism better. You know what I'm saying? It ain't to hurt your feelings. It ain't to start nothing with you. It's so that we can all get better. It may be something that you do that you don't see that you do. And somebody tell you, all you analyze yourself, and we're going to get that. Give me 2 Corinthians 13:5. Go ahead.
Okay, just to comment on what Captain is saying, this is really a description of someone that's been reborn again. God tells us that we must be reborn again. And if you read verse 22 again, but the fruit of the Spirit is love. Well, let's go see what love is. Now we know 1 John 5:3, for the love of God is keeping his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous. Okay, his commandments are not grievous. But now we're going to go to another scripture, which is Romans 13:8. And I want to read down to, I just read down and I stop. 13:8. Owe no man anything but to love one another. For he that loveth another man, for he that loveth another has fulfilled the law. So if we want the definition of fulfilling the law, that's it. Love is fulfilling the law. Now verse 9 going to tell us a definition of love. For this, thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not covet. There be any other commandment. Basically, he's telling us keep the commandments.
That's it.
He's still telling us to keep the commandments. So for those who have been taught that we're not under the commandments, we're under love, and that we're under have no other God other than the Lord thy God. Guess what? Here's an eye opener. We're still under those commandments, but Jesus just broke it down through love.
That's right.
Okay, I want to finish up this verse because I don't want to stop in the middle of it. Okay, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So there you go. You have the definition of love.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead, Captain.
And I'm gonna land me back with him. That's loving our brothers. John 14 and 15, Christ said, if ye love me, keep my commandments. So you got to love your brothers, keep the commandments. If you love Christ, keep the commandments. If you love God, keep the commandments. It's no way of getting around that, because what brother I just read, thou shalt not covet another man's wife. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill. What are those? Those are, but they are offenses that you would do to one of your brothers.
Correct.
If you offend one of your brothers, that ain't showing love. That's showing hate. And that's all we doing in the world is offending one another. That's all we doing is offending one another. If we stealing from each other, we got hate towards one another, we coveting something that a brother got, envying brothers, that is hate. And that's offensive. And that's what the Most High is trying to keep down. That's what the whole purpose of the commandments is, to keep the offenses against one another down.
And it's for us not to offend each other. We're not out there offending the other nations. We are offending each other, our own nation.
And check this out, what you just said. We ain't offending the other nations, right? Right now, our people breaking all the commandments, right? Who is only affected? The other nations. The other nations is benefiting off us disrespecting one another. They got whole music industry off us disrespecting one another. The rap industry is us disrespecting one another, talking about killing one another, talking about we're sleeping with whoring the sisters out, they B's and H's and all this different stuff. That's all it is. It's offensive to one another. And if it's offensive to one another, then it's offensive to our God, because he created us to love one another so that we can show forth the praises of him who brought us out of darkness into the marvelous light. We can't do that if we divide it. So that's a great point I brought out. So if you showing forth those fruits of the Spirit, then you can't be breaking the law. But if you're not showing forth the fruits of the Spirit, you got that 2 Corinthians 13:5.
Mm-hmm. Did we finish the lecture?
Yeah, we finished the lesson.
Okay.
If you're not exhibiting these traits, then this is what you need to do. And this is what we need to do every day anyway for ourselves. Read that out.
This is the book of Second Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourselves.
Do what?
Examine yourselves.
We got to examine ourselves. Don't go running around trying to examine another brother. Well, yes, I seen that. No, brother. Examine yourself. If you examine yourself, you ain't got time to be worrying about nobody else. If I'm all on Facebook commenting on everything that I think I see wrong with somebody, I don't even know these people. How am I taking time to examine myself? I seen some offensive stuff on Facebook. Sisters out of control going at elders, calling them out their name and different things and criticizing them. But you a woman out of place and talking noise to a man on the social media. You think she examined herself?
Nope.
But you coming on there coming at somebody who putting in his work. This is the type of stuff that's on there. How I'm on here criticizing you. But the moment somebody criticizes you back, oh, it's on and popping.
Mm-hmm.
No, examine yourself. Read on up.
Whether ye be in the faith.
I'm going to examine myself every day, whether I'm in the faith. Because if you're in the faith, then you'll be trying to get better. If you're in the faith, you will constantly, you know what, I ain't gonna go off on nobody today. And when you go through that day and somebody try you, matter of fact, let me rephrase it. I ain't gonna cuss nobody out today. Because they still try to disrespect us. So I'm still have to handle it. But I ain't gonna cuss you out like the old man would do. The old man finna call you every B, H, M, F in the world when you disrespect it. The new man gonna handle this stuff different. That's me examining myself. Because I know how I am. I know, you know what? I'm gonna let that brother make it. I'm not even finna take the time to get into it with him. Because for one, I done got wiser. Because what am I gonna benefit from getting into it with my brother? It's the same as what you gonna benefit with getting into it with your own blood brother. You not finna benefit a damn thing. Nothing. So you better examine yourself. And when I'm doing in class, I'm talking about me first. Read on.
Prove your own self.
Do what up?
Prove your own self.
You got to prove your own self. Man, don't sit up here like you righteous and holier than thou. Because ain't none of us that. You gonna have to be an ancient gray hair or you can even begin to attempt to get that. Some of us got more years of being in sin than we got of being in this truth. So anybody trying to sit up here acting like they all holier than thou is a damn liar, man. So you know by what come out your mouth. How you speak to people, how you handle people. And them be the ones who think they righteous be the ones that handle people the worst. Talk to people the worst. Don't check the tone of their voice. Don't check how the respect level that they got when they talking to people. How you gonna call yourself in this truth and you ain't exhibiting none of the traits of the spirit, the fruits of the spirit? That's why when you know this Bible, man, you able to navigate accordingly. And you able to call out those spirits and see those spirits. Yeah, brother got on fringes. Yeah, sister got on fringes. Well, how our attitude look? And if it ain't lining up with the fruits of the spirit, then something wrong with you. You need to examine yourself. Because I'm going to try to exhibit the fruits of the spirit to the best of my ability. Love is not hard. Patience, some things people got to work on. But you better get it together because you got to be patient anyway. You can't do nothing. But what the Lord got going on, long suffering. If you gonna long suffer or you gonna die one. If you're not exhibiting these fruits of the spirit, then what are you doing? In the truth. Every day you're supposed to get better. You should be a pleasant person to deal with. All of us should be pleasant people to deal with. Seriously.
Right.
We should be showing meekness to where little children want to come up to us. You know what I'm saying? Babies want us to pick them up. They know the spirit too. Right. Puppies should want to run up to you when your spirit right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you tell the truth. Right. When you see a little puppy run from somebody, you're like, hey, what's wrong with that person? Right. Or a baby start crying as soon as they see a certain person. Hey. Right. They know. So if brothers and sisters in this truth and they dealing with you, and they're like, damn, this brother will not change his attitude. You're not exhibiting the fruits of the spirit, man. Temperance, gentleness. We should be gentle with one another. And y'all know the gentleness that I'm talking about. Respect. Respect. If you got a problem showing respect to your brothers and sisters, something wrong with you, man. And it's truth. You come right, like you running something, trying to tell boss people around, trying to treat anybody any kind of way. Something wrong with you.
God.
You're not exhibiting the fruits of the spirit. Let's go to, did we finish that? Finish.
Know ye not your own selves, how that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates.
Except ye be reprobates. Now you want to be a reprobate, then Christ ain't in you. Mm-hmm. We got people that's right there that's in this truth. All they got to do is put in a little effort. They ain't reprobates. They just need to put in more effort.
That's right.
That's all you got to do. Put in more effort. Be more diligent. Don't stop being lazy. Because real reprobates out there, and we know some real reprobates. Some people that I'm talking to ain't reprobates. They just need to put in more effort. Yeah. Let's get Ephesians chapter 4 verse 22. I want you to read Matthew 25. And you'll read that on the okay. Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 22.
The book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 22. That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man.
So what we supposed to do, what?
Put off the ye that put off concerning the former conversation, the old man.
We got to put off that old man. It's no way you can put new wine in an old wine bottle. You can't do it. If we come into this truth, how we was, we got to shed that stuff off of us, man. We got to get better for the Most High. We was better for the world. We was doing exactly what our oppressors wanted us to be. Exactly what that Willie Lynch, they put on us, trained us to be. Some niggas. Some niggas. And I mean the Hispanic niggas, Indian niggas, and black niggas. That's what they made us to be. But when you come into this truth, you put off that and you put on that new man, which is in Christ, which is a Hebrew Israelite from one of the 12 tribes of Israel. And you take on that mantle and you take up this work and you be a priest of the Most High God and you walk and do it proudly. But you can't have that old man in you because it's going to keep getting in your way. It's going to keep making you trip and fall. Read on.
Which is corrupt.
Which is what?
Which is corrupt.
That thing corrupt, man. We know we was corrupt. We knew we was corrupt. That's what made us search God out anyway. If we thought we was okay, we would never be here. If we thought everything we was doing was just fine, you would never came and seeked out the truth. It was corrupt, man. Read on.
Which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust.
The deceitful lust. Read on now.
And be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
And do what now?
And be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
We have to change our mind, man. And then when we've been in this truth for so long, why do you have to keep changing your mind? You done made your mind up, you're gonna do the work. You should be diligent in doing this work. You already decided you're gonna do it. Your mind already been changed. But some part of you ain't changed all the way. And that's the part that keep holding us back. That's the part that'll hold us back every time. And you'll see it as time go on with people. That's the old man pop his head up every once in a while. Some people just ain't put the old man away, and yeah, I thought you was a new. So this is how you acted this your whole life, huh? So you ain't put it in, and I say he pop his head up because some people mask it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people you didn't know them before they was in the truth, and you didn't know that this is actually how they acted. So you just the same person that you been. I didn't know that because I didn't know you before the truth. Some people mask it, and some people genuinely have changed. A lot of people genuinely change, but sometimes that old man come up. But we gotta have to renew our mind, renewed in the spirit of our mind, our spirit, so we can exhibit those fruits. Read on.
And that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness.
That's the key right there. Yeah, man, if we doing this in righteousness, it's gonna be undeniable that somebody is in the spirit. If they actually doing it in righteousness, I'm gonna fly into town, come straight to class, next day start laying towel throughout the week, during the Passover, putting in the brick. You know what I'm saying? Brother's gonna be sowing day and night to look out for other brothers, basically doing charity. Brother's gonna be contributing in every single way, man. Brother's gonna be diligent. You're gonna see them up when something going on up at school, you're gonna see them up there. If barring they ain't got something else to do. When it's a class going on, brother's coming up there to be a part of the class. You're gonna see it, man. You ain't gotta look around like, man, what's such and such at? You gotta do that. That brother probably ain't put that old man up. We gotta keep asking. Cause I know you ain't got to call these brothers. I ain't called nobody. They come because they know what's going on, because they diligent about this work, putting off that old man. And like we talked about earlier, we know what brothers is doing because we always on the phone with each other. We always at school with each other. You know a brother to put the old man off. I ain't got no friends in the world. All my friends in the truth.
That's it.
So you got to come do the truth to be around your friends.
Mm-hmm.
We got to do the work to be around our friends, our brothers. If you go with your other ones, what you going to do?
Wicked.
So wickedness.
Wicked.
And I mean, it ain't that you ain't got friends or other people. You know when you used to go with your homeboys. Well, and if them same homeboys doing the same thing, what you gonna be able to do with them?
The same thing.
So it's like, all right, we ran the women together. Well, I ain't running no women. I'm married. I'm chilling at the house. If I go with my partner that's running women, what we gonna do?
Wrong women. Go back to that old man. Go back to that old man.
His brothers, and I know I ain't seen the wild as good brothers. Hey man, you should come over. I can't even make myself go over there. I can't. The time I can't even fit time in my schedule to do that. That's how you keep yourself from doing it. I'm busy. You don't even call because you don't even want them to even ask you. So that's fine. We gonna do this work, man, together. Just said the Lord, and put off that old man and study build on that new man. Read up. Oh, that's it on that?
No, 25 really is the point.
Read up.
Verse 25, wherefore putting away lying.
Doing what up?
Putting away lying.
People in the truth still be lying. Yeah, I'm gonna be there, you know what I'm saying? Damn, I told me, I didn't ask him, he told me I'm gonna be here. You gotta put away that lying. Read on.
Wherefore putting away lying, speaking Salakia, speak every man truth with his neighbor.
You gotta speak that truth. Read on.
For we are members one of another.
If we members one of another, why am I lying to myself? Why I'm finna lie to you, Brother Ken? I'm lying to myself.
Lying to yourself. Right hand lying to the left.
Yes. I'm finna lie to Steve. For what? We in this thing together. Don't make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make no sense, man. Let's get that Matthew.
Hey, can I jump over to verse 15 and read that before we go over to Matthew?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is verse 15. But speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Christ.
But speaking the truth in love. That's what love is too. Telling the truth. Why you used to be in the world, just lie. No reason.
I
mainly lied to women. I lied to women just for no reason. Ain't even have to be lying. That ain't love. You tell the truth in love.
And it's funny because I know people that do that. You know, they lie and you ain't even got to ask them nothing. They just come out the line with a lie. And you be like, man, where did that come from?
For no reason. So speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Christ. We trying to be Christ-like, right? Christ ain't lie to us. Christ didn't lie. He didn't have to lie. They wanted him to be a lie, but he ain't no liar because what he said it came true. Let's get to that neat Matthew chapter 25, verse 14. We're going to read this thing now. This is a parable that Christ said about his servants. We need to take heed to this too.
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 25, verse 14. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several abilities. And straightway took his journey. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise, he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money.
Now check this out. So the Lord gave a certain amount of talents to brothers, to servants. So here, handle this. I'm finna go. I'll be back. Now he gave some more. He gave some less. Now the brother that got the 1, the least amount, he ain't gonna go do nothing with it. He just gonna go dig in the earth and hide the Lord's money. I liken that to somebody who find out they're Israelite, be in the congregation, and then don't do nothing with it. That's what I liken that to. You got some people that got more talents, more skills that the Lord gave them, and they using that thing. And they gonna profit for the Most High with that thing. You got the brother that got the 1, yeah, he know he is Israelite. And I know people like this, but then they ain't putting in no work. Read on.
After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained besides them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, Well done, thy good and faithful servant.
What did he call him out?
Thy good and faithful servant.
Okay, read on. He called him a good and faithful servant because he doubled what the Lord gave him because he went out there and put in work. Read on.
Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler of many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord.
What's the joy of the Lord? The kingdom of heaven. He said, enter now into the joy of thy Lord. Come on into the kingdoms, my good and faithful servant. Because what I gave you, you went and made more with that. You went and put in work for me. Read on up.
He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord.
So the one that brother that got the 2 talents, he went out there and doubled. He didn't have more than the first, but what he had, he went and got more for the Most High, for the Lord. He went and put in work. And the Lord turned around and said, My good and faithful servant to him. enter into my joy. Because it don't matter how many talents you got, it matters what you do with them. Now let's see the other example. Read on out.
Then he, which had received the one talent, came and said, Lord, I knew thee, that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid.
He was what up?
And I was afraid.
Now he want to say he was afraid. You knew what kind of man you would serve. We know that Christ is an austere man. We know he's going to be coming back with his word and putting a lot of people to death. We know this, right?
Right.
So when he get here, let's not act like we're afraid now. Because you wasn't afraid when he wasn't here. Yeah, now this is what he want to pull. When the Lord wasn't here, you ain't say you was afraid, but you called out that you know he sowed where he never reaped. That he what did it say? He reaped. He was a hard man, reaping where he has not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. You know this about him. But now when he get here, now you're afraid. But when he wasn't here, you wasn't afraid. Read on up.
And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast, that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thy wicked and slothful servant.
What did he call him out?
Thy wicked and slothful servant. Thou knowest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed.
Hold on right there, because we're going to show you something. The Lord called him wicked and slothful, right?
Wicked.
Before this, didn't he come up with an excuse?
Yeah.
Lord, I know you reap where you didn't sow. I was afraid, and I went and hid the talent in the earth. For lo, that is thine. Let's see why he came up with that excuse and why the Lord called him a wicked and slothful servant. The book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 17.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 32.
He got it right here.
You got it?
Yeah.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 32, verse 17. A sinful man will not be reproved.
A sinful man will not be reproved. Read on.
But findeth an excuse according to his will.
He does what not?
Findeth an excuse according to his will.
That's all this brother did.
And make an excuse.
He tried to make an excuse for why you know these other brothers had some. Why you ain't go do what they? Why you ain't follow their lead? You ain't even had that many. You gonna go be lazy and slow, and you gonna go hide yours. Other brothers out here work because while you hid yours, you sitting back at the house with your feet kicked up. While they out here putting in work. But what the Lord called
Slothful.
them wicked.
And all he had to do was make one talent.
One talent.
If you think about it, one talent. Everybody double their talent. He only had one to make. How slothful is that?
That's beautiful.
Slothful.
Read 26 again.
Verse 26, Matthew 25 and 26. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gathered where I have not strawed.
Read on now.
Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchanger, and then at my coming I should have received my own with usury.
He said, man, you could at least went and did something with the money. Dang, you ain't do nothing with it. You just gonna go bury it. You ain't try to make no money off of it, take a loss or none of that. You just gonna go bury it. That's lazy. Read on, huh?
Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which has 10 talents. For unto everyone that has shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that has not shall be taken away even that which he has. And cast ye the unprofitable servant unto outer darkness.
What did he call him out?
The unprofitable servant unto outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gashing of the teeth.
You do not want to be an unprofitable servant for the Most High God. Oh yeah, I know I'm an Israelite. Where your work's at? You don't want to be an unprofitable servant. You saying you're a servant of the Most High, but you not putting in no work. You letting everybody else put in the work. And we're gonna bounce Read 21 for me. Let's bounce back to 21, see what the Lord said.
Verse 21. His Lord said unto him, well done, thy good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord.
So right now, the Lord put us over a few things. When we get the kingdom, if we do what he told us to do, we're going to be over many things. So if we can't deal with what we got with right now, how we going to deal with what comes with the kingdom?
Come.
If you lazy right now, why would he put anything in your hands? He took the talent from the dude that had the one and gave it to the one that had the 10. Because he seen how much stuff he dealt with and how he was profitable towards him. Well, I'm going to put you over. I see. Yeah, you good. You what I need. That's what we supposed to be proving ourselves to the Most High. Lord, if you just, I'll be a supervisor, a man, what you want me to be. But I'm gonna be something. Cause I'm gonna put this work in.
I kind of put this in the situation we're in. Instead of us using talents, we using people.
Mm-hmm.
We're going out and we trying to bring people into the fold. God gave the first man 5 talents. He brought in 5 more talents. He gave us a book to learn so that we could go in and be fishermen of souls.
Mm-hmm.
So he's telling us, go out and bring in our people. So this is what we up here doing. It's trying to bring in our people for the Most High. That's what we good for. Because money ain't gonna do him no good. He owns everything anyway. He don't care nothing about money. He wants the people. He wants souls. He wants faithful people, diligent.
And how could you get that if you being slothful? If you being reckless with how you dealing with the people, if you're not showing them the way, if you're not letting your light shine, who's going to listen to you if you're not letting your light shine?
That's right.
Your wife ain't gonna listen to you.
You're not leading.
You want her to follow you, but you ain't letting your light shine. You ain't following Christ.
That's right.
She gonna be like, nigga, please. Nigga, you ain't been to Sabbath class in 2 weeks. You telling me I need to be up under you, the man over the household, but you ain't been to Wednesday class. You want me to be up under you, and the man's supposed to be over the household. You ain't got no fringes on. Little boy, you done cut your beard off. Or you don't put your brick in.
Come.
You want the people to follow you or listen to you, but they looking at your light, but you ain't putting no work in. It don't work. They not gonna listen to you. You're gonna lose respect because you telling people what to do and they doing stuff and they looking at you with your feet kicked up like Rick James. Because you just riding the wave of the hard working Israelites that's actually putting in that work.
That's right.
No, man, the Lord gonna take your talent and gonna give it to somebody else. Because what our people need to realize is he can have anybody do this work.
Come.
If he wanted somebody from another nation to come to wake us up, he can do that. He chooses who he wants to do this work. We dispensable. We ain't indispensable. We are dispensable.
That's right.
So to sit here acting like you the end all be all of this truth, now you fooling yourself. What it said, if a man think himself to be something when he is not, then you fooling yourself. Let's get because the keynote we finna hit on real quick is what the Lord's called a wicked and slothful servant.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 24. Because being slothful, give me Sirach 22 and 1. Being slothful is not good in the sight of the Most High God. That's why he called him a wicked and slothful servant. Because slothfulness in its truth is counterproductive to what we trying to do. Who got it? Read that out.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 24. The hand of the diligent.
Oh, Slacky. I'm saving that for last. I don't know how. Go to, I still put, oh yeah. Give me Sirach 22 and 1.
The book of Sirach, chapter 22, verse 1. My son, hast thou sinned? Let's read that over. My son, hast thou sinned? Do so no more, but ask pardon for 22. The former sins.
22 and 1, Slacky.
22 and 1. Mm-hmm.
22.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 22, verse 1. A slothful man is compared to a filthy stone.
What did the Bible say?
A slothful man is compared to a filthy stone.
Read on.
And everyone will hiss him out to his disgrace.
Read on out. It gets better.
A slothful man is compared to the filth of a dunghill.
Boo boo.
Boo, boo.
Boo, boo.
Boo boo. Caca. Read on up.
Every man that takes it up will shake his hand.
You mess around, put your hand in some boo boo. Ah, ah. You act like you got acid on your hand. That's what the Most High compare a slothful man to. Boo boo.
Boo boo.
If you lazy in this truth, you boo boo to the Most High. You can wear all the fringes and have the longest beard in the world, know all the precepts, but if you lazy, because what's Christ called? Wicked and slothful servant. You're not increasing your talents. You're not putting in that work. It's more than just being a pretty face and showing up.
That's right.
Did you willing to take some trash out? Clean a toilet? Mop the floor? I plan on doing that once this class over with. I can't take it personally. I gotta have a clean house. So if you can't live in a clean house, I don't know how you gonna live in the kingdom.
That's right.
I know the Most High house ain't filthy.
Oh no.
Ain't nowhere in the world you finna tell me that. Spotless, pristine. So you sloth in this truth, the Most High compared you to boo boo.
Like the class you just got recently. Purging out all.
Purging it out. Let's get Proverbs 27 and 23. You got that up? Let's get it.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 27, verse 23. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds.
The Lord said, be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks. We have to know the state of the flocks of the people that we deal with, right? We got to be diligent on that because we dealing with people. We dealing with the Lord's flock. He said, be diligent and look well to thy herds. We got to look well to the Most High's herd. So that means we got to be diligent in his work. His flocks are the children of Israel. Let's get that out of the book of Matthew. Us as the leaders, as the prophets of the Most High God, we have to look over his flocks. We are the shepherds. We the new shepherds. Those pastors in the Christian church is boo boo. They the caca. So we are the true prophets of the Most High God because we're gonna do thus saith the Lord. We're not gonna make no excuses on trying to get out of doing something that the Lord told us to do. So with that, we got to be diligent in his work to know the state of his flocks and look well to thy herds. Let's get that.
Matthew 10 and 5.
Yes, sir.
Book of Matthew, chapter 10, St. Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans. Enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Go to where I?
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
And do what?
And as you go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
That's what. Keep reading. Now.
Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely you have received, freely give.
So we have to go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel and tend to their estate, tend to their well-being. How can you do that if you're not diligent in the Lord's work? We got to preach to them the kingdom of heaven is at hand, to repent, to come back to the Most High God. That's tending to the Lord's flock, teaching them the law, statutes, and commandments, teaching them the high holy days, teaching them to keep the Sabbaths, the dress codes, the dietary laws, ceremonial laws. That's how we tend to the Lord's flock. But how can you do that if you're not diligent in the work? The flock is not going to follow the shepherd if he don't know what he's doing, or if he can't protect them, if he can't feed them, if he can't lead the way. That's what we got to do. That's what we commanded to do. Let's get Baruch chapter 4 and verse 26.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 26. My desolate ones have gone rough ways and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies.
So he's telling you, his delicate ones have gone the rough ways. The sheep that we talking about, the house of Israel, have gone rough ways. The shepherds have to bring them back to the pasture. We have to be the ones that bring them back to following the Most High God, to following Christ. Read on.
Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto God, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned, seek him 10 times more.
Do it what?
So being returned, seek him 10 times more.
So though it was our thought process to go away from God, when we come back to him, he told us to seek him 10 times more. If that ain't diligence, I don't know what is. If that ain't being diligent, I don't know what is. Just knowing you're an Israelite is not enough. He told us to seek him 10 times more. Yeah, you had enough mind to go, when we was in the world, we go to the strip clubs and to the clubs, get the biggest bottles, the biggest bags, the best clothes, so we can go pull some girls. You went all out for that, didn't you? Wash the car up, shine the rims up. Well, we can do all that to be in the world. He told us for him, when we come seek him 10 times more. That's diligence, man. That's being diligent. And that's just saith the Lord. Let's get Romans chapter 12 and verse 10. Coming to the last 3 precepts.
This is the book of Romans chapter 12, verse 10. Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love.
And we already covered that. I brought the great precept out on that. Be kindly affectionate to one another. How can we be kindly affectionate to one another if we disrespecting one another? I'm yelling at a grown man and don't give a damn about how he feels.
Right.
Is that respect?
That's not respect. Not kind.
So
Not
what if 2 people doing that? Then we got a major problem. So because one person stays in the spirit and show respect, and the other person disrespect and then feel like they ain't did nothing wrong,
We got to see. Let's say Houston, we have a problem.
we got a problem. Because we can't have us in here acting like this. We can't have that. We have to respect one another. We have to be kind to one another. It don't matter about no rank or none of that stuff, because I'm telling you, me as a man, I deal as a man. Mano to mano. Forget a rank. This rank don't mean a damn thing. You think the white man give a damn about me being called a captain? Captain of what? I ain't got no ship. I ain't got no tanks. I ain't got no airplanes or none of that. Captain, get out of here. I got a real captain to pull his cruiser up on us.
That's right.
Like, yeah, I'm a captain. Know what I'm saying? So with us, this is mano a mano, brother to brother. So when we dealing with one another, deal with how you want to be dealt with. Well, I mean, like yelling at you brothers. I sure don't want y'all yelling at me. Not in a disrespectful manner.
That's right.
So why would I do that to you? Gotta hold your peace. Read that again, huh?
Verse 10. Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love.
With what?
With brotherly love. In honor, preferring one another.
Read on, huh?
Not slothful in business. Let me read that again. Not slothful in business.
Not slothful in the Lord's business. What business do you think they talking about? It sure ain't talking about the business of Google. It sure ain't talking about Walmart. It's talking about the Lord's business.
That's right.
Don't be slothful in the Lord's business. And since we got to do the Lord's business, and I'm going to keep likening it to business, work, in a work environment, you got to have a good environment with one another. That's why he keep telling us to love one another, so we can have a good working environment for the Lord. No toxicity, no anger, no grudges. We doing this for the Lord. So he commanding us to be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love and honor, preferring one another, because we ain't got nobody else. I know us up in here, we done did our examination. Yeah, we got other brothers out there. Spirit may not jive with them spirits. So outside of that, unless you willing to force your spirit to be with another camp or another set of brothers, outside of that, those options that we have, what we gonna do in the world with the other nations? They don't want us. The Chinese don't want us. East Indians don't want us. The white man don't want you. So we got to make it work with one another. That's all we got.
Your options are limited.
The options are limited, man.
And once you awoke to this truth and you know who you are, talking about the Hebrew Israelite, we don't want them.
We don't want them.
We don't want them. Right? Because we know they mean us no good at all.
No good.
No good.
Read verse. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna hit 11 and 12.
Yeah. I ain't even cut you.
No, you good.
Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit.
Fervent. And what's the fruits of the spirit? If you fervent in the spirit, you're gonna be exhibiting those fruits of the spirit, right? Read on.
Serving the Lord.
No. I did not say serving the Lord. That ain't what
Serving the Lord. Let's
oh.
see. Yeah, this is King James Bible.
Oh, so we supposed to be serving the Lord and not our own self.
Serving the
So
Lord.
that means this little stuff that we going through supposed to be overridden by the fact that we serving the Lord. Because I'm pretty sure if we in the kingdom, right, and they catch wind of us fighting with one another, but we only here to do the Lord's will. Oh, y'all fighting? It's gonna be some repercussions for both of us. I bet you the fighting is very, very limited in the kingdom.
What do you say? Whipping and gashing of the teeth?
Yes.
Is that what he said?
Yes.
There's gonna be some gashing of the teeth.
So, come on, man.
So we got to get it right.
Like for instance, you may fight with your brothers when your mom and daddy leave, right? If you got good parents, when they get home, all that side of the window, y'all like y'all ain't never fought before in your life.
Ain't nobody saying nothing.
Nothing. Think you the best kids and children in the world.
That's right.
Well, that's how we gotta be. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord gonna straighten us up. Read on up.
Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer.
I will keep reading.
Just
13.
Distributing to the necessities of saints, given to hospitality.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Who don't love good hospitality? That's why when we come up here, man, we should feel love every time we come in here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Every time we walk in the door, it should feel like cheers.
That's right.
Where everybody knows your name. Doom, doom, doom. And they're always glad you came. Say, you want to be what people be, where everybody know your name, don't you? Shoot, I used to watch that show.
Shoot. Yeah.
You be like, hey, man, I want to walk in somewhere where everybody know my name. We got that now.
We got one sitting on that stool. Don't never leave.
Don't never leave, man. That's what we building upon, man. But we can only do this when we diligent doing the Lord's work, man. When we build upon the blueprint and the foundation that he has left for us to do this. Because outside of this, none of us can say that we became close to something that was for us to be able to bring us to this point. Because if we did, we've been there. The Nation of Islam, that's a cult. That's a cult. That's not for us. Islam ain't even a religion for us.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's out of here.
Found it in here.
Haven't found it in there. Christianity, damn soul ain't the way.
I have that found it in here either.
None of that, man.
But Islam, isn't that for Ishmael now?
That's Ishmael.
That's Ishmael.
That's Ishmael religion. So, and anything that somebody forced you to do, see, we ain't have to force nobody to do this. When we doing it, everybody want to do it. That's why we have proselytes and strangers all around us. Right. Hey, we got to beat them off with a stick. But with Christianity, history showed that they force people into it. In Islam, history showed that they force people into it. And all these other religions, we ain't forcing nobody. This ain't for everybody. So we ain't got to force it because it ain't for everybody.
That's right.
It's for the willing and the obedient.
You know, I gotta say something about that Christianity. If Christianity is so good, why do a certain group of people have to go around the entire globe and ram Christianity down people's throats with the barrel of a gun?
Exactly. With the sword.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's so good, why is that?
Because it's of Satan.
But even in our community, a lot of us is still stuck on that. I'm talking about conscious awakened Israelites. They still have that Christianity mindset, and they bring that to the fold
Because
disrespecting their brothers, their sisters, putting themselves up as guys. Actually,
Down Central.
That's all I really have to add.
No order. This is about order.
Right.
This a lot of our people don't like order. This is about order and discipline with one another. Cool. That's why they don't like it. See, it's easy to follow man. That's what they do it in the Christian church. Don't say nothing about my pastor, because they following a man, and they just fall in line with following that man. See, we not following man. See, it's a psychology. It's a psychological thing. People are prone to follow man. So it's been dead for thousands of years. You can go look at any kind of case about it, from all these cults and things like that. Gullible people will follow. This right here, we need brothers to stand on their own 2 feet. This ain't no following thing. This is look at a brother do their work and I need to do it too thing. Right. This ain't no, I'm the head, follow me. No, we got a king. That's Yahweh. We following him. He ain't here right now. So he left the blueprint. That's the difference between what they doing and what we do. Ain't no man to follow. He done been here and he gone. And when he come back, you want to already be in order. So all we got is to do is what he told us to do. Work out the kinks amongst one another. In the Christian church, they got their head. That's the best way to put it. They got their head.
That's right.
Our head is Christ.
Their head is President Trump.
Their head is President Trump or Pastor Porkchop.
Caesar Borgia.
Caesar Borgia. They make somebody else their head other than Christ and the Most High. The Most High is Christ's head. Christ is our head as men. As long as we stay in line with them, we good. They don't do that. They go, what you say, Trump, this government, Trump, they pastor don't fall in line with that. Because and we know the proof in the pudding. When Obama said that homosexuality, they can get married,
they already
all the churches had to bag down. They got homosexuals in the choir, homosexuals preaching, homosexual deacons. They had to stand down. That's right. Because they head said, well, we got to follow that 501c3. We don't want to get in trouble. So what they make if the head is sick, the whole body's sick. But our head told us don't do no foolishness like that.
That's right.
Our head told us to stay steadfast in this truth. And in this truth, he told us homosexuality is an abomination. It is. So we gonna do what he told us to do. That's the difference with what they do and what we do. We need the men to stand up. We need warriors.
That's right.
We don't need no followers, well, I almost said something. We don't need no women men, man. We need warriors. We need warriors. Who you think have been on the front line in the first place? The same ones that's getting on the front line right now. If we have to go to battle for our nation, we'll be the ones that step up because we ain't got the spirit of fear.
Right.
All the brothers that get out on that street corner on the Sabbath against the will of this country, those are the warriors of Israel, man. These are the warriors of Israel. They get out and do the Lord's work. We would have been the ones that took up swords against these other nations too. That's the spirit. That's the spirit that these brothers got. The Maccabean spirit. The David spirit. The ones that's ready to fight for their king, their God, and their nation, man. If you ain't got this spirit, then I don't know what you're doing. Because the Lord ain't give the spirit of fear up in Israel. He told us to fear him. When we fear him, that's the beginning of wisdom. And we know his word is the foundation of wisdom. All we got to do is line up with him. Somebody give me 2 Peter 3:13.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Wherein dwelleth what?
Wherein dwelleth righteousness.
We are looking for the promise. We looking according to his promise. And we know that the Lord is not a man that he should lie. Numbers 23:19. He promised us a new heaven and a new earth. We looking for that thing. Why are we looking for it? Because righteousness is going to dwell there. We won't be getting persecuted no more. We won't be getting oppressed no more by these wicked nations of this world, man. The Most High God is going to bring righteousness to this earth. That's what we seek. That's the reward that we get from being diligent, from doing this work. Read on up.
Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent, that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless.
That's what we supposed to be diligent upon, so that we can be found spotless and blameless in the sight of the Most High God. We have to go in front of him and judge. He gonna look at our works when he opened up the books, the book of life and the book of the law, and he gonna see if we've been diligent for him or not, or we just been riding the coattails of the other Israelites that's been putting in his work since they started. Which one you gonna be? Are you gonna be, if you gonna be diligent, or you gonna be slothful? That's the decision to make. Is you gonna come put in this work, or is you gonna try to ride the coattails? Last precept, book of Proverbs, chapter 12 and verse 24.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 24. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute.
The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, meaning we gonna take the kingdom. We gonna get the kingdom, and we gonna be in charge again, thus saith the Lord. But the slothful shall be under tribute. The slothful is the ones that stays under captivity, that stays under somebody else ruling over them, because you ain't putting in no work. Just like still, even right now, the diligent is the ones who ain't up under nobody, up under Christ. Like for instance, we make our own schedule, and we schedule our life around doing this work because we've been diligent. I know I had to be diligent to even get to that point, because you work for somebody else, they want to act funny and act like they don't want to let you off, want to try to force you to work on Saturday, thing like that. All praise to the Most High. He helped me to be able to change my life, to be able to change my schedule so they can't pull that stuff up under me. But what if I was slothful? If I'm slothful and don't want to work for myself, don't want to put in no effort for myself, then I'm going to be working for somebody else and they're going to rule over me.
Most I can't use.
Can't use, you ain't even trying to get yourself from up under them to be able to do is what, well, you know, they had me working on Saturday. So you ain't tried to get out of it at all? Man, I told them people, I'm not working on no Saturday. What are you, a Jew? You damn right.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha. Get HR on the line. You think this a joke? HR get on the line. Well, he got to be off. That's part of his culture. Oh yeah, I thought so. This ain't no damn joke. But people sit up there, my job made me work on Saturday. Did you even try to get out of it? We done looked up the laws about it. When they try to come at brothers about this stuff, you can't do that. No, they ain't even tried. They ain't try to go to HR. Well, you know, the job, man, damn your job.
And the so-called Jewish man wrote the law.
Exactly. But you ain't even gonna use it to your
Right.
advantage
You gotta use it to your
because you're
advantage.
slothful. Your sinful man finds an excuse. A sinful man will not be reproved but find an excuse. But the ones that diligent about this work, ain't nothing gonna stop them because Most High is with you.
Bring out the law.
Bring out the law. Huh? We talk about the laws, statutes, and commandments all the time. Ain't gonna keep talking about it. Somebody listen to us, be like, dang, they just keep saying the same thing. Ain't that what the Bible
That's what
says?
the Bible
The
says
law.
From beginning to end.
From beginning
So-
to end.
We the law keepers and the law givers. So we gonna bring out a law for our people. Bring that out.
I'm quite sure the captain will agree with this law here. And this is for all of us here. This is Leviticus. This is one of our standard ones.
Yes, sir.
Leviticus 19 and 17
Mm-hmm.
and 18. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt not in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
No, against the whole world.
Against the children of thy people.
Mm-hmm.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
And that's where they got in the New Testament, where it's telling you to love your neighbor as yourself. They got it from the laws.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the law that we should love our neighbor as ourselves. I am the Lord, is what he said. So anybody who think we ain't got to keep the law, such commandments, you better reread your Bible, because we do. So
All 613
in the
of them.
New, there's not in the
exactly.
They haven't been prophesied.
Not 10.
So with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
Cut. All praises to the Most High God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.